everyone. I found this old kit in my stash that was bought some time ago, and we're going to have a go at putting it together. So first of all, I've got this shape, which I am now going to stitch from the nose through to the tail. Let's see if you can guess what this might be as we get a little bit closer. So I'm just going to start my stitch off. I don't normally do a lot of stitching type tasks, so this is a little bit new for me. But I think this would be a little bit of fun. Relaxing as well. So I'm just doing a overlapping stitch here on my way down, which means that instead of just going in and out and in and out, I'm sort of moving down a few millimeters, but then I go back in and then come back out a little bit further along, just to make it a little bit stronger. So I'm going to continue making my way all the way down this edge. All right, so you can see that I've stitched around the outside of my penguin just from here and around, and then on this piece there are two little wings, and I'm just going to tack those onto this piece of white. And I'll do this on both sides. These will be stitched on later, so I'm not too worried about the stitch that I'm using here. So that's one side. And now I want to place the little feet on the bottom, and then I'm just going to sew this around on the bottom line, like in a little rectangle. Okay, so little feet are on, little wings are on. Now we need to make sure that the stitching is facing the outside. So this is the stitching part, this bit here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pin this part all the way around and get sewing on that. So just carefully making sure that I line up where those parts are, and then using my pins making sure that those lines, those sides are aligned up together, and then working my way back down here, making sure the little wings are out of the way. I'll do the same on the other side, and then this bit will go along the bottom. Right, so I'm going to continue joining all of that up and get stitching again. Alrighty, I've got it all pinned, but I've left this little section here at the back, so that will be last, and that'll allow us to put our polyester fill into the back of that. So now I have to go and stitch all the way around this. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera and come back. Alright, I have stitched all the way around the outside except for this little part here. So now I guess it is time to turn it inside out and get some of the fill in there. So this is the moment of truth, guys. Whenever you've stitched something, making sure that it actually looks the way you intended when you pull it all back in through the other way. Now my stitch work, it has a lot to be desired. I can see that right now, but anyway. And if it does look like it's getting a little bit stubborn, grab something like the end of a paintbrush, so that you can get in and get those pointy bits out. There we go. So yes, you can see a bit of the stitching that I've done there, but you know what? It's okay. All right, now it's time to take some of this fill and start packing him out, or her out. So I'm going to start with the nose. So I'm just going to shove a little bit in there first and then start packing it into the top, because that's going to be the hardest part to push into. You could come back with a little bit of invisible stitching, but no, it is what it is now. And again, if you are putting the fill in and it's not quite making it where it needs to, grab something like the paintbrush again so that you can pack it in quite nicely there. And then just continue filling up the inside. If you're a bit of a messy stitcher like me, it could be worth getting some invisible thread and perhaps using some of that so you don't see this line. I do have a little bit of invisible thread to finish it off with. All right, so I'm going to continue packing this out. Nice little bit in there for the tail. All right. It's looking pretty cute. All right, so this, I'm going to take some invisible thread this time, and I'm going to finish in the tail, and then we've got these little eyes to sew on as well and give him some eyes. So I'm going to go ahead and do those two things, and then we will have our little pal finished off. Okay, so here is the finished product, and he's going to look at you with one evil eye because the other eye fell on the floor somewhere in the craft room, and I've been crawling around for about 10 minutes trying to find it. So he's going to go one-eyed for a little bit. But yes, he's got his little feet. It's a wonky eye. It's quite cute. So that is one finished project for this Sunday. So thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.